Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Dear brothers and sisters, today in this video, I will show you how to use Microsoft Excel Solver to solve a linear programming problem. Now, first of all, you need to install Excel Solver add-in into the Excel. So let me show you how to do that. So this is the Excel blank screen. What you need to do, click File, and then click Options. Now, when you click Options, then you will find all these. These are the options. Now, one of them is Add-ins. So click Add-ins. Then these are the add-in options. Now, people use this add-in depending upon their necessity. Now, our necessity is to use Solver. So we have to install Excel Solver into the Excel. Now, in my case, I have already installed it. So that's why Solver add-in appears here. If I have not installed, then it won't appear here. It will appear here. So in your case, since this is the first time, so Solver add-in should appear here. So you click add-in, just a simple click, and then you click OK. Once you click OK, then it should be already added. Now, if it is added, then how do you know that it has been added or not? So you click Data, then you will see the Solver options appear here. It appears here means it has been installed. If it does not appear means it has not been installed properly. So you have to go back and then you have to redo and make sure that the Solver option appears here. Once it is there, as I say, then the Solver is already installed. So now you are ready to solve a linear programming problem using the Solver option. Now in this demo, I will solve this simple linear programming problem. Maximization type, 2 variables and the 2 constraints. Maximize z is equal to 7x1 plus 10x2 subject to 3x1 plus 3x2 less or equal to 120, 2x1 plus 4x2 less or equal to 100, x1, x2 greater than equal to 0. So in order to solve using by Excel Solver, we have to model it into Excel. So let us go back to Excel. Now, firstly, we need to declare the variables. So we write variables. Now we have 2 variables. So we'll be writing x1 and then x2. Now Excel Solver, it uses simplex method. So simplex method starting point, the value of x1, x2 is at the origin. That means x1 equal to 0, x2 equal to also 0. Okay, so now we have declared the variables. Now the objective function. Objective function is maximize. So maximize 7x1 plus 10x2. So we have to declare this. Now Excel command starts with equal to sign. So equal to 7x1, 7 times x1. So we need to use the star symbol. Star denotes multiplication, 7 times x1. So x1 you have to click here. Then plus 10x2, 10 times x2. So you have to click here. Then click enter. So it will be 0 because it's both are 0, 0. So over the time, this objective function value will be improved. Now constraints. So I'll be writing the word constraints. Constraints. We have 2 constraints, 1, 2. And the constraint has 3 parts. The first, the left-hand side expression, then the inequality symbol, and the right-hand side values. So here it could be expression, then inequality sign, and then right-hand side value. Okay, now the first constraint expression is 3x1 plus 3x2 less or equal to 120. I repeat, 3x1 plus 3x2 less or equal to 120. So start with equal to sign. 3 times x1 plus 3 times x2, enter. Then less equal to sign. Right hand side is 120. Done. The first constraint. Second constraint starts with equal to sign. Start with equal to sign. 2 times x1 plus 4 times x2. Enter. Less equal to sign also here. And then right hand side is 100. All right. So we have already modeled the this problem into Excel format. Now we are going to solve it by using solver option. So click solver, and then you reset all. All right, reset all. Now you you have to declare the objective function here. So objective function, this you click here, objective, so it appears here, and by default it is maximization, so no need to change. So it is maximization. And then the variables, so bring the cursor here, and please note how to declare the variables. So click here and then drag. All right, so it appears here. So the variables are declared. Now we have to add the constraints one by one. So click add. Then the first constraint, click here, left hand side. Then less than equal to is already appears. Then right hand side is 120. So 120. So don't type 120 manually. You have to click here 120. So first one is added. Now the second one. So click another time add. Then left hand side is also less equal to, so no need to change. If it is other than less equal to, so you have to then use this option. So now 100, click here 100. That's it. So we have already added the two constraints. Now click OK. Once you click OK, then you will see that these are the two constraints. And as I mentioned already, this is the objective function, maximization, these are the variables. Now, this one is important. This one you must ensure that the check mark is there. This check mark means the variables are non-negative. That is x1 greater than equal to 0, x2 greater than equal to 0. And by default, it will be checked. So no need to change. Now, this one by default is GRG nonlinear. You need to change to simplex LP, simplex linear programming. Once you have done that, then you are ready to solve it by solver. So now you just click solver. So you see that the values are already there, optimal values. X1 equal to 30, x2 equal to 10, and the maximum value of the objective function is 310. Now you can also create a separate Excel sheet for the output. So what you need to do, you need to click answer and then click OK. And then the output sheet is already there, answer report. So you have this output file. Now this output file is not something new, is already we know already the answers. So the objective function value is 310, x1 equal to 30, x2 equal to 10. All right. Now this constant one, there is one word binding. So what is actually binding constraint? Binding constraint means when you substitute the optimal values of the variables in the left-hand side of a constraint, and if the left-hand side equal to, after substitution, if the left-hand side equals the right-hand side, then it becomes a binding constraint. For example, if you write down the first constraint, let me write it down, 3x1 plus 3x2 less or equal to 120. Now we have already got the answer x1 equal to 30 and x2 equal to 10. So substitute here 3 times 30 plus 3 times 10. So how much it becomes? It becomes 90 plus 30. So this is 120. So 120, 120 left hand side and right hand side also how much? 120. So that means that this constraint has become a binding constraint. So that's all. This is the way to solve a linear programming problem using Excel solver. Now I have used here 2 variables. You can just extend to 3 variables, 4 variables, 5 variables, and also minimization time. As you have seen that when you click solver option, then there is one option here, minimization. So if it is minimization, you just change from maximization to minimization, and then you will get the answer. So thank you very much for your time. I hope it is useful. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.